and welcome to Tipsy Gaming. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Torghast bonus event available this week, Chorus of Dead Souls. I'm really excited about this video, and so I wanted to do a quick and simple cocktail so we could get straight to the good stuff. Let's get started. Because I like tequila with my Torghast, I'm making a Bloody Maria today, which is like a Bloody Mary, but with tequila instead of vodka. I've got a glass here with a couple of ice cubes, some tequila. Next, we just top it off with some Bloody Mary mix and call it a day. Give it a quick stir. I wouldn't mind a few more ice cubes, but I only had 2 left, so you do what you can. Normally I do like to make my own Bloody Mary mix, but like I said, quick and simple and getting to the good stuff. Cat! Really? Thank you. If you checked out the previous bonus event that there was for Torghast last month, which was Beasts of Prodigum, then you'll be familiar with a little bit of the mechanics of how this functions, which is when you enter the dungeon, the initial anima orb will offer you your 2 regular powers, but also an additional 3rd power, and that is the bonus event option. Beasts of Prodigum had a few different varieties that you could get randomly, but it appears as though this week there's only one option, which is Howling Soul Core. This states, assume the form of a Dead Soul Chorus, replacing your abilities with mob-based spells. While in this form, you have 50% increased damage and healing, as well as 20% increased movement speed. Friendly players may merge with your form to add to the chorus. Now, I went through this on a layer 8 solo to test out the Chorus of Dead Souls. Based on my experience and everything that I've been reading about this bonus event, it would be really fun to do in a group. If you enter Torghast as a group, either everyone can select the Howling Soul Core and each of them transform, or one person can select Howling Soul Core, and once they transform, all other players can attach themselves to the transformed player, which has certain benefits. From my understanding, the player who transforms controls the movement of the entire group that has joined with them, but it frees up the rest of the party to cast while moving, which can be pretty significant. However, since I have not yet experienced Chorus of Dead Souls in a party for myself, I'm going to refer to the Wowhead page on it, which has an excellent write-up and will be linked in the description below. I do want to emphasize, though, that if you want to participate in the Chorus of Dead Souls, you must select the Howling Soul Core from your initial anima power in order for it to apply for the rest of the dungeon. If you don't, there's no going back. Otherwise, you won't be offered the additional Chorus of Dead Soul anima powers for the remainder of the run. If you do select it, you'll get a special action button that will transform you into the Chorus of Dead Souls and replace your action bar with 4 abilities and 1 button that will transform you back to your normal state. That last one is called Return to Existence, and it's fairly self-explanatory. The 4 abilities in order are Wailing Blast, which is a ranged attack that interrupts spellcasting and prevents any spell in that school from being cast for 4 seconds. It also starts with an 8-second cooldown. Second is Scream of Pain, which is a point-blank AoE ability that can be cast indefinitely. Third is Phase Shift, which reduces all damage taken by 90% for 1.5 seconds. It begins with 1 charge on a 12-second cooldown, but can be cast while casting. And lastly, you have Twisting Shadows, which begins with 1 charge on a 15-second cooldown, and is your basic teleport to the targeted location ability. I also want to point out that when you are playing with a group, there are general chorus anima powers, as well as Howling Soul Core specific anima powers. So there are some abilities that only affect and apply to the individual that has selected Howling Soul Core, but there will also be a number of abilities available to all players as long as one of them has Howling Soul Core, which will add additional powers anytime they are part of the Dead Soul Chorus. It should also be noted that this bonus event does not apply in Twisting Corridors. It is only available in the 2 weekly wings. I should probably mention that when I entered Torghast, I had forgotten completely that it was the bonus event week, so my goal had been to test out Guardian Spec with Feral Affinity, something that I don't have a lot of practice in, but I still wanted to give it a try. The smart thing probably would have been to exit Torghast, change into a spec that I was more comfortable with, and then re-enter to test out the Chorus of Dead Souls, being able to weave easily into and out of that and a comfortable spec. I didn't do that. I forged ahead with Guardian Spec and Feral Affinity, and while not necessarily optimal, it did get the job done. I will say though that you do keep your stats and buffs when you transform into the Deadsoul Chorus, which means that it would have been a really good idea to transform into bear form for the increased armor and stamina. I feel like that would have made a significant difference in my run, and I really hope that you were able to learn from my mistake. There's also no cooldown for transforming into or out of the chorus, so feel free to weave in and out as it suits your needs. I will say though that at the beginning of the run, before you've gotten a lot of the powers that boost up your Deadsoul Chorus abilities, it does have some drawbacks. I noticed this especially when I was engaging with 2 elite mobs. Even one was sometimes a challenge when it did significant physical damage because the wing that I was in had the physical damage increase. So that was definitely hard since the primary attack of the Deadsoul Chorus is a point-blank AoE. However, if I had known to be in bear form before transforming into the Deadsoul Chorus, maybe it wouldn't have been such an issue. But I do think that you would significantly benefit from the ability to weave into and out of the Deadsoul Chorus. For example, if you start off with a strong opener for elites or a boss, and then switch into the Deadsoul Chorus once that opener has worn off. That is something that I tried to do a couple of times since I was soloing it, and it worked fairly well. I also want to note that there are certain anima power abilities that still trigger when you are in the transformed form. Shape. For example, the shield that you gain for picking up Phantasma, that applied. Since I was going through Torghast solo and wasn't able to test out the group function of Chorus of Dead Souls, I did try to pick up any applicable anima power unless it was egregiously worse than the other options. Much like in regular Torghast, the anima powers that you're offered have an excellent way of synergizing with each other to really integrate well into the overall gameplay. For example, if you pick up Shifting Sustenance, which heals all nearby friendly players within 10 yards, and combine it with the Improbably Shifting Orb, which increases the number of charges of Phase Shift, that synergy can really have a high impact on your sustainability. In comparison with the Beasts of Prodigum event, I feel as though the Beasts of Prodigum was excellent if you prefer to solo through Torghast. It gave you a lot of options to manage that more easily, whereas the Chorus of Dead Souls is much more oriented for a group. I know that for me at least, I feel that Torghast is so much faster and more fun to go in with a couple of your friends than it is to do solo. And I feel like this week's bonus event is just gonna amp that up even more. There's probably a whole lot more that I could get into in depth for the Deadsoul Chorus, but so much of the abilities that you will pick up are RNG, and so you may never even see them. I know there are some on the list that I never had offered to me, or somewhere it was just not worth picking up. Either way, I hope this helps you guys out and that you have a little bit more fun in Torghast. feel free to leave a comment if there are any cocktails or WoW videos that you'd like to see me do, or stop on by my Twitch and let me know there. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Until next time, this has been Tipsy Gaming. I'm Tipsy. Please remember to drink and game responsibly. Bye. Dead Soul? Dead Soul. Dead Soul. Deadsoul Chorus. No, where are you? Oh, go die. Drop. Just go die. Stop it. Stop running. This is so bad. Stop it. Oh. I have a really bad feeling that if he had made it to the boss would have pulled.